The month of May marks the beginning of sea turtle nesting season here in Southwest Florida.
And while visitors and regulars head to our beaches pretty often, we were just there yesterday, there are some things you need to really keep in mind. Catherine is live in the Fox 4 Lounge with a reptile expert and professor of biology. So, Catherine, what are you learning?
Well, good morning, Chris and Lisa. Yeah, from May to October, we're going to start to see a lot of sea turtle nests popping up on our beaches here in Southwest Florida. So we brought in Jordan Danini. He's a herpetologist and professor of biology at FSW to talk about some tips or things that we need to keep in mind as we head to the beach. We know we have a lot of visitors probably coming to vacation for summer, and sea turtle nesting season seems like something we Floridians know a lot about, but there's probably some things we don't know. So what do people need to keep in mind as they head to the beach?
So one of the biggest things is walking on the beach at night. Sea turtles are extremely sensitive to light. So light pollution is a really big deal with sea turtles, specifically white or really bright yellow lights. They're very sensitive to that spectrum of light. So if you're out on the beach, make sure you're not shining flashlights and things like that, because any little flicker of light could actually turn a mother sea turtle back to the water and disturb her and prevent her from nesting. Then once the eggs actually get laid on the beaches a little bit later on, the hatchlings get disoriented by that light a lot more severely than the adults even, and will end up in the brush and up in the dunes, going away from the water where they can then end up drying in the hot summer sun or even get eaten by predators a lot more quickly if they're up in the dunes. So that's one of the big things. You should also take into account like beach furniture. Leaving it out on the beach overnight is not a good thing over sea turtle season because they can get tangled up in that stuff. And there's been several cases of sea turtles washing up dead, tangled up in beach chairs and things like that. And then also filling in any pits of sand castles or whatever if you're digging out on the beaches. Filling those back in is a big thing because those can actually trap adult females sometimes if they're deep enough, and also prevent the little hatchlings from getting back to the sea.
Very good tips. And although we couldn't bring any sea turtles today, we do have some very important guests. This is Waffles, and then Khaleesi's to his left. I don't know if we can see. She's trying to escape this morning. They're very cute. What kind of turtles are these?
So Waffles is an African sulcata tortoise, and Khaleesi is what's called a diamondback terrapin, which is a type of brackish water turtle.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, and
Waffles
tortoises,
is so cute.
Yes, he is he's a great boy.
He's huge.
And I wanted to bring him in specifically because tortoises often get mixed up with sea turtles because a lot of tortoises, our native species of tortoise, the gopher tortoise, lives in the dunes on the beaches. And a lot of folks see a turtle, quote, tortoise, on the beach and end up taking it down to the water to let it go swim, when in reality, tortoises aren't the best swimmers. So if you see a turtle on the beach, whether it be a sea turtle or a tortoise, the best thing to do is just leave it be. But you can tell them apart if you look at our tortoise here. You see those front feet? See how they're big and thick? Those are called elephantine feet, which kind of sounds like elephant. And elephants, they plod around on land, right? So they're really good at moving on land. But if you threw this big, heavy guy in the water, he might float for a little bit, but he's not going to swim very well. So if you see something that kind of looks like this, walking around in the dunes, it's most likely a tortoise. So leave it in the dunes and just observe it from afar.
All right, some very important tips to keep in mind. Thank you so much, Jordan. We'll toss it back to you guys in the studio.